give you strife is Todd. He's tall, he's mean, he's labeling machine, he's Todd. Rides a motorbike, he'll tell you what it's like, he's Todd. Don't know what he'll say, he'll scare the kids away, he's Todd. He's Todd.
Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday. Something's a little bit different today, so thought I'd put a GoPro on my head. Why the hell not? So we're going to try this today, all right? And, you know, it's still a little wonky. They said it couldn't be done. So this is a GoPro 8 Hero. They said this could not be done, even Restream, which we're going through. Hey, Blake, Restream said this couldn't be done, all right? So we're going to try it. It worked during the pre-show. We're going to try it here. So we'll see what happens. So we're going to label a rack today. Now, I don't have time to physically label this thing from head to toe, all right? But I'm going to go through all the attributes of how to do it utilizing the PTE 550. So it's kind of a one and done, if you will. And a lot of the contractors and end users don't realize that everything can be done with this one machine. I know when I was a contractor, I would pre-print the labels. We'd put them in a manila folder. We'd run down to an office store. We'd buy, you know, one of these little brother machines right here for the patch panels and face plates. And it's very time consuming. And not only that, I'm still not a big fan of sheet labels. Now, chances are brother may throw their hat in the ring, right? Because they just won't go away. And I'm going to show you an example of why I'm not a fan of sheet labels. Last week I went over some new products and I showed you exactly why I'm not a fan of the self-laminating tape. Whatever. Anyway, and I'll show you, hi Chuck, hi everybody, hi Michael. I'll show everybody why I'm not a fan of that. So labeling a rack should be a one and done, all right? You should be able to do everything with a couple of cassettes. And that's the beauty of this machine, is that all it really takes to do this whole rack here, right, is 2 tapes. And I'm going to show you a little bit about that. And labeling really is a science, if you will. And if you get that science down, what it means is less labor and less mistakes. So the labelology, that's mine too. The labelology of this whole concept is to do everything right the first time and then move on to the next rack or the next cabinet, if you will. So what I'm going to do today is the vast majority of patch panels are out there using 3/8 inch tape, which is our TZE 221. It's this guy right here. Maybe tough to see, but it's our TZE 221. It's a 3-inch tape. It's great for probably 90%, if not more, of all the patch panels out there. But I am going to talk about high density patch panels. And a lot of those high density patch panels, you don't have room for 3/8. Right? You don't even have room for a 1/4 inch. So I'm going to talk a little bit about our TZEN 201 9/64 super narrow tape. I don't think anybody else out there is doing this. Typically what I see these contractors doing is they'll take a 3/8 inch tape and then they'll cut the top strip off and they'll cut the bottom strip off and they'll try and put it on a high density patch panel like you see up here, right? And so the last tape we're going to use is a TZEFX 251. This is a 1-inch tape. What a lot of people don't know is it's specifically made, as it states here, for cable wraps and flags, right? But you can use it on a smooth, flat surface, which means what? Which means our cable tray up there, which means you can use it if you're labeling the rack on the actual rack. Now, if you have a rack like I do here, and by the way, I want to thank RXL. RXL provided me with the tray up top. They provided me with the wire management. They provided me with the rack. So I want to thank RXL. But if you have a textured rack, what you want to use is our TZES And S stands for extra strength. I've been here almost 9 years, and I still haven't figured out how S stands for extra strength. Anyway, it's either the TZES 251 or the HGES 251. Our HGE series, which you can see behind me in these boxes, they come in a 5-pack. They're a contractor pack. These guys, the FX tape does not come in a contractor pack. So again, where you can use these is round surfaces, curved surfaces for cable wraps, flags, and if you're running like a smooth ladder rack up there like I have. So really 3 tapes and you're done. 606C standards, very important. What I wanted to show you is, I wanted to show you some fire stop. And somebody forgot to send me a sleeve. So if anybody out there represents fire stop, hey, send me a sleeve. I'll put you up there. But when you have your cable entrance into, let's say, a sleeve, you want to label that. You want to label your rack, your rack runway, I should say. All right. You have fiber involved. You have copper involved. You want to label the rack, and then you have here active electronics. Now, sometimes the IT guys will want to label their own active devices, maybe some passive devices. But if they give that to you, all right, it's really, really easy to do, and I'm going to show you how. The key to doing this, and grounding and bonding, I'm sorry, forgive me. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. So with that being said, what was I going to grab? All right, crucial part of this. In fact, you know what? No, let's start with the fiber, all right? On the fiber, it's really easy to do a patch panel label schedule off one of these machines. Try doing it on something like this, right? And so you see a lot of Sharpie in there, and you see a lot of printing one label at a time, and you know what? It's just horrible. We can actually provide you a template for these fiber enclosures where you can pull that information from a database. I'm going to try and show this to you. I don't know if it's going to work. My entire screen, you're going to see, let's see, my entire screen. All right. And then what I'll do is right there. So Dan Cobb, my protege out in Wisconsin, actually put this together for me. So isn't this cool? And based upon the type of panel schedule that comes into these fiber enclosures, and I want to thank NetSource, I want to also thank Leviton for providing me some of this material here. But we can actually pull this information, as you can see, from a database and basically fill this up for you. All right. So let me get rid of this, and I'm going to stop sharing. All right. Now the fun stuff starts, right? I'm going to try and again, this is uncharted territory. I'm going to try and turn this damn thing on, and I'm going to kind of go through and show you how I'm doing all this labeling. Again, it's only going to be with 3 different cassettes. Right now I've got the TZEFX 251 in there. Chad Christie, I see you out there. I'll answer your question in a minute. Hey, so listen, keep the questions coming. Keep the cards and letters coming as well. We'll try and get to these things. It's a distraction. And those who know me, I can't multitask. All right. So anyway, forgive the interruptions, but keep sending the questions in, and we'll get back to you. These things are recorded, so we can go back and take a look at some of the questions. Now, where the hell was I? We're going to turn this thing on. All right, so let's see if this thing works. Now, what you're probably going to see when I first turned on is the rest of my garage here. All right, and so I did clean it up a little bit, knowing that I was going to be on camera. But at least for the first minute or two, a second or two, you're going to see what I'm looking at. And I can tell you, it's not a pretty sight what I'm looking at as far as myself on the screen. So let's go ahead and let's try this. Ooh. Oh, all right. So here's the rest of my garage. Here's my studio. All right. And I'm going to do something that I've never done before on BS with Todd. I'm actually going to get out of my chair, which is a task unto itself. So anyway, what we want to do up here, all right, and I told you I already programmed, let me get my specs on. I told you I've already programmed some of this into the machine, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into File of this. I'm going to go into Local File. I'm going to go into Open, right? And as you can see, all right, I've got, oh, this is beautiful. All right, so I'm going to start with the ladder tree up here. And again, thanks to RXL for that as well. I do appreciate that. All right, so 1-inch tape fits like a champ, real easy to see. So what you're going to do is this actually is going to be applied up here. All right, so we're done with that. Done. Bang, bang, boom. All right, we talked about the fiber a little bit. All right. And so when we do the fiber, we'll open up the door. Everything's going to be pre-printed right here. We're going to stick that inside. So again, that comes from this machine as well. Right now, if you want, you can label your wire management. I don't know why you would, but anyway, you can. In fact, I recommend labeling everything. Everything. I mean, if it's blank, put a label on it. Toddy needs a new pair of shoes. All right, so let's move on to patch panels. This is where it gets real ugly. Port spacing on a patch panel, all right? Good luck with that. Good luck with port spacing. I don't care what manufacturer that you're installing as far as a patch panel, whether it be a pre-wired or a modular, that port spacing is not going to be available. So the good thing is we've got an answer for you right there. This is our patch panel ruler that will measure to within 1/100th of an inch. As you can see right now, this is a Leviton 48 port high density patch panel. Look how small this label is right here. Holy mackerel. Nobody else is doing that. This is the part where everyone comes in, they trim a little bit off the top and they trim a little bit off the bottom. Can you imagine the amount of wasted tape here? Not only that, but the labor. And again, trying to match these up. All right, so again, what you want to do is, and it's really easy to use these, you want to start the left edge of the card at port number 1. You want to go over to the left edge of port number 4. Now, I cannot see what you're seeing out there because I'm just looking at it from this direction. I pre-measure this, and basically it's a 0.69 patch panel. The beauty of this in the 9/64ths, which is this guy right here, all right, the TZEN201, is that it prints off on a 3/8 inch tape, just like this. But the secret is the label itself comes off from the center spline, just like this. So then what I would do is I would come up and essentially just put that over. And I'm telling you, it lines up like a champ. So again, think of all the time and the waste that you're going to eliminate by using this particular TZEN201. And again, it's legible. Even for an old fart like me, I can read this stuff. So again, that's our TZEN201 for angled patch panels. And it's a little known secret out there. When I do mention it, people just go crazy over it. Regular patch panels. All right, let me come down here for a second. All right, same thing on here. Is that it's going to be tough for y'all to see this. All right, but again, the left edge of this card, and then go over to the beginning. All right, so here's port number 4, the left edge of port number 4. And I've got a 0.69. And so the beauty of this on here, all right, I'm going to get out of here. The beauty of this is, let me clear everything, text and format. Okay. All right, now, I'm going to start on the patch panel. I hit the patch panel button. I said that was a point, what the hell was that? That is going to be a 0.68 actually. So I'm setting it to the 0.68. Now, if you notice this, it's in a 4-port configuration. So number of blocks is going to be 4. I want to pull this information from the database. I don't want to hand type it in. I select my database. I go to, let's just go to this file. As you can see, it looks like an Excel spreadsheet as far as the interface. And you can put anything you want into these different columns. But let's go over to my cable ID. I highlight where I want to start. I scroll down to where I want to finish. I hit the OK button. The machine extracts that information. Okay, so I got that information. Now when I go to print, I can print a range. Let's just do 3. So the beauty of this is that I've got it all spaced out, all right? We're going to utilize the half cut feature. So and you know what? Look at me go. What a dork. Hey, sometimes on live TV, these things happen, all right? So what I'm going to do is I stopped the printing. What I failed to do, all right, was I failed to, let's do feed and cut. Now, the beauty of that is I wasted tape, all right? Well, it's not a beauty. It's you don't want to waste tape. So all essentially you have to do is open the back up, take this cassette out, take this cassette, put the cassette in, close it. Now, I've already got my job saved. Come on, I've done this a million times. All right, so I've already got the job saved. Hey, let's try this again, huh? So I'm going to go to a range. We're going to do from, you know what, let's do 2 this time, just to save some time and effort. Now, black on white's very popular, very, very popular. When I was out in the field actually working for a living, I went old school, all right? And so I used a lot of white on black. Now, as you can see, so I've got 2 of these printed off, all right? But I've got the half cut feature. So what I'll do is I'll come here, I'll peel the first 4 off. And I hope you guys can see this stuff. I'm not going to line it up exactly. I'll try my best. Bam! Bam! Right there. Look at that. Now, when I go down to the next one, all right, what you can see is I'm going to continue on. Now I can just take that strip and just throw that strip away. I'll come down to number 2, and we'll line this guy up. And we'll go. Bam! Damn, I still got it. I still got it. So anyway, it's crucial for the patch panels to utilize this patch panel ruler, right? It really is. Also on the bottom of this, it's tough for you guys to see, but faceplates. That's another point of contention. Is usually faceplates, you print too much label, so you have to take your snips, you got to cut a little bit off the left, a little bit off the right. It's a waste of labor, it's a waste of tape. So again, this patch panel ruler is very crucial. On the back of this, it goes into what tape to use. It even has the TZEN 201 back here, all right? So on the back, it tells you essentially what we recommend as far as the tapes. Active electronics, all right? Same deal with active electronics. It's just a matter of measuring the port spacing. So in this particular port spacing, it looks like it is a 0.59. Same exact deal that I just went through on the patch panels. So what we'll do is, and I'm not going to print this out for time's sake, but on the patch panels, what I'll do is I'll just set that at 0.59. Again, it's a 4-pack configuration, so I'm good to go, all right? And once you print this out, this is 3/8" tape, all right? Sometimes you'll need to use a 1/4" tape based upon the amount of space that you have there, all right? So we covered essentially your fire stop, which hopefully someday I'll have some fire stop up there to show you all. We've covered your ladder racking. We've covered the fiber. We've covered the copper, all right? Now down to the ground bar. The ground bar is pretty darn easy. Again, what I've done is I went ahead and I saved a template in here. So let me escape out of here. What I'll do is I'll go into File. I'll go into Local Files, Open. Yeah, there's my ground, all right? Now, again, that's 1 inch. So what I'm going to have to do is, and I'm not going to embarrass myself again, is that I'm just going to switch this out for the 1-inch tape. Like so. I'll print this. Look at that. Isn't that a thing of beauty? The BTE 550 has all sorts of symbols in here, electric symbols, Datacom symbols, punctuation, so forth and whatnot. But again, I would just place that right there, right? You can adjust the length of the tape, right? You don't have to go 1 inch. I like the 1 inch because it's real easy to see, right? The last thing we do is we're going to label the rack. And typically, if you're following 606C standards, there's grid locations. If you're in a data center environment, there's grid locations. And so, whether it's a rack or whether it's a cabinet, it's going to follow that grid formation. So again, what I do is I go back out of here. I'm going to go into File. I'll go into Local Files. I'll go into Open. And we've done tray. Let's see, right here, right? And I'll print. So in this particular case, this rack is located on grid location H, row 2, and it's rack 1. So you can put this really wherever you want. I got customers that'll put them down there on the bottom of the rack. I have customers that will come up here and they'll put them up here. I know it's a little tough to see, but they'll put them up here on the top of the rack. So again, this machine really will do everything for you. All right. How we doing on time? I'm going to switch back to the other camera right here. All right. Let's go here and here. Aha, I'm back. All right, so the whole idea of this, and it's 10:22 right now, the whole idea behind this was just to show you how easy it is, right? To label this thing head to toe by utilizing just this machine, the PTE 550. Whether it be an HD patch panel, whether it be fiber optics, which I know when I was in the field, again, it was very tough to do. Let us help you with that. So where I step in from a support standpoint is that if you need a custom template done, approach me. Again, at the end of the day, you have to represent your work. And really labeling is going to tell your customer a lot about you as far as your quality and your quality control and, your attention to detail and following 606C standards. And so again, this guy will do everything, right? If you need to go beyond an inch, we do have our lunchbox. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but our lunchbox up there is essentially this guy on steroids, all right? Hey, Sam, you made it. So anyway, the PTE 800W will also do everything I just showed you on the PTE 550W, except it goes up to a 36 millimeter or 1.5-inch tape. So if you need to go beyond something like this, right, then use the PTE 800W, all right? What else? So, I appreciate everybody showing up. It's been 21 or 22 weeks now. You all recognize this, all right? Still in here. From the legal standpoint, I can't mention how long this has been in water. Prior to this airing, I did have one in oil that I dropped, and there's kind of a mess down there right now. So anyway, that one, after a very long time sitting in oil, is dead and gone. So I appreciate everybody showing up on LinkedIn. This platform seems to work extremely well. I've made a lot of new friends out there. All right. I want to give a shout out to Mr. Blake Ermos out there. Blake is kind of doing what I'm doing. I focus solely on labeling. Blake is all over the board when it comes to low voltage, all right? He produces some podcasts out there on LinkedIn Live. I encourage you to check it out. In fact, he gave us a nice little plug, and this is my in return to Blake, but it's Low Voltage Nation. They also do weekly podcasts, and I also talked to Blake about maybe teaming up one of these times as a very, very special guest. With that being said, again, keep the cards, letters coming. I appreciate everybody every 2 weeks now getting on board. This is fantastic. It's been a huge success for us. I know we've given some value out there to the hundreds of thousands of folks that have joined us so far. right? So I do appreciate that. Next week, right? Unboxing the 550W. So I sell a lot of these things. Believe it or not, I still sell stuff, right? They don't pay me for my boyish good looks or my vernacular, right? I still have to go out and sell these things, so daddy gets a new pair of shoes every now and then. So the PTE 550 is probably our number one selling printer. And it comes in a hard case kit. You can see I've got cases and kits all over the place. So it comes in something like this, all right? But I get a lot of questions about, how do you put a cassette in, right? The battery, so forth and whatnot. So I'm going to run through the process. And I didn't do this very well today myself, but I'm going to run through the process on exactly from start to finish, from an unboxing to the battery to the tape to talking about this thing that comes equipped with it to even going into our apps. Right? We're going to go into that as well. So anyway, on November 5th, unboxing the PTE 550W for electrical, for any industry out there. I think this is a must-see episode. November 19th, water resistant. All right, under the sea. I'm going to show you some really cool stuff with our labels. And as far as the durability of our labels, it's going to be a whole new level of BS with Todd. So please join us November 19th. On December 3rd, abrasion resistant. This is also going to be very cool as well. So please join us December 3rd. We're going to keep these things going because, again, we get a lot of really good feedback. As far as contacting myself or anybody else on the team, Kelly, if you would show that. Here we go. So I'm out in Carlsbad, California. If you need to contact, now I cover everything west of the Mississippi. I do it virtually now. Here's my contact information. Reach out to me with any type of custom labels that you want to do, any labeling questions, or if you need some bad advice. I've got years and years of bad advice, and that's offered for free as well. Mr. Jamie Brookover, he's out in Virginia Beach. Jamie has always been a regular on this show, and I hope to have him back soon. He's got the Rogaine going, and he looks like a whole new Jamie. Yeah. But anyway, well, maybe that's why he's a little camera shy these days. Mr. Dan Cobb is our major account manager for MRO. All right, he's somewhere in Wisconsin. I think he's getting some snow already. Bruce Page is out there on the East Coast there as well. He's my counterpart. Mr. Rob Dawkins handles manufacturing and warehousing. And by the way, we got some really, really cool printers coming up for you that I'm probably going to be slipping in as soon as I get them to brand new products. They're great printers, so stay tuned for that. Mr. Craig Robinson hails out of Bradenton, Florida. I still don't know where that is, but it's somewhere in Florida. All right. So if you need to reach any of us, please do. Bixby accreditations. If you go to brothermobilesolutions.com and under industries, if you click Datacom, if you scroll down a little bit, about halfway down the page, maybe 3/4, there's an area where we'll offer 2 CECs for going through my course. And yes, you have to listen to me for a little bit. But anyway, we can offer some CECs there. You know what? With that being said, 1029, I think I did a pretty good job today. I really do. All right. Give me your feedback on this GoPro, if you would. I'd really appreciate that. Because some of the next episodes, I'm going to incorporate this GoPro. If I need to make well, anyway, if I need to improve the process, then let me know if I need to. With that being said, hey, have a great week. Please stay safe out there. And thanks for joining BS with Todd. Talk to you soon.